Woo! Hey guys, welcome back to DBW. This is Jen once again.
This is Pip.
And I'm Mel.
And we are DBW. Now guys, I want to get right into it. The Royal Rumble recently just passed this past week. And I want to really get into the controversies that have arisen over the course of these few days.
Are we talking controversies or are they just unpopular hot takes?
Nah, bro, they're controversies. Okay. Like, you should saw the dislike bar, bro. Like, people online don't like what they got at the Rumble. I've heard a lot of people saying it was a bad Rumble. It was not a good show overall.
The people that they wanted to win didn't win.
Yeah. I didn't want this particular person to win, so the show itself was bad. And, look, this is kind of how it works out, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of justification I heard was that people who spend money have a right to complain. And, yeah, they do. But everyone else spent money as well, and the person who spent money could love him or her or the winner that you don't like.
Right.
Just because someone's at a show that you don't like doesn't mean that your money was justified and or wasted or that your hype for the show should be diminished by any margin.
Yeah, I think saying that like an entire show is ruined just because the person you didn't like didn't win is kind of, I don't know, kind of premature.
I mean, well, if the person you didn't like did win, you would know. I feel like that happened in 2015 with Roman Reigns. You know, like, people booed the dog mess out of Roman Reigns, bro. And people did not really want to see him compete. And every time he came out, They booed. And they booed him bad. They booed him so bad.
No one was a fan.
No. They let it be known that they did not like Roman Reigns.
But I think it's a lot different now. Like, wrestling is in a whole different state. And really, anybody could have won the Royal Rumble for both genders.
Yeah, man, look, and I also think the difference between then and now is that the people who went to the shows were the fans online. Like, wrestling back then was strictly for the fans. The fans were very locked in. They were locked in at the shows, and they were locked in online.
Yeah.
Wrestling is so much bigger now that the people on the internet are never the people at the shows.
No.
Not anymore. At least
they never are. They used to be. But not anymore. Like, the guys who post on their Twitter and made comments on Facebook about wrestling back in 2014, 2015, especially during the Daniel Bryan era and, you know, Roman Reigns pivot and all that stuff, those guys were deep into the actual product because it was not nearly as big or as hot as it is today.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a disconnect now more than ever that the people online and the people attending the shows are two vastly different crowds.
That makes sense.
Because when he came out on Raw, Jey Uso was still super over. And you would think that he was not super over based on the reaction you got online when he didn't win, or when he did win the Rumble.
Jey Uso just can't miss, unfortunately. I guess for a very vocal feud.
yeah. Look, dude, a vocal feud, you should have seen the crowd. There is no vocal feud, bro. Jey Uso is one of the most over superstars in the company. I would say immediately right behind Cody. I say he's more over than Roman at this point. That's why they sent him out after Roman's entrances.
Yep, that's why he has the most pops. And of course, no disrespect to Cody or Roman either. It's just that Jey has proven that he is someone that people care about. And everyone, a lot of people are really right behind him, which, you know, allows us to cleanly transition into how we feel about him winning. How do you guys feel?
Man. Jey hasn't improved a lot over the past couple years. I'm not gonna lie to you, his wrestling ability had a lot to be desired. Yeah. I still think it has a lot to be desired, but I have seen him improve recently, doing moves that he didn't usually have in his bag.
I mean, his match with Gunther Saturday Night Main Event was actually pretty smooth.
It was pretty good.
But that's Gunther, though. Okay, I've said this last episode. I'll say this again.
Gunther's gonna elevate.
Gunther's gonna elevate anyone who's in the ring with him. You know,
brings out the best of you.
Like, DB-Dub has no Gunther slander and it would not be tolerated.
Right.
No, not at all.
I just think Jey Uso is really peaking at the right moment. Like, he's at the peak of his powers with the fans, and he's now improving in the ring. So I believe that basically everything is aligning for him, and he's gonna be even bigger than anybody would have ever thought he could be.
No,
like, he's literally doing a Slim Jim commercial with who was it? He's doing a Slim Jim commercial with
LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
Right, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Like, what? I would think that it would be like Jimmy, like he's Slim Jim.
Slim Jim.
And that makes sense,
That's a
but
slam dunk.
But no, Jey Uso. So like, he's the next guy. Like, really, to this next era. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but I think the more interesting question is who he could face at WrestleMania. I know that some people may say Gunther, but I don't know. A lot of people could also say he could go up against Cody. I feel like that would be a very interesting dynamic between the two. If I remember correctly, before they separated, I think one of them said until we eat again.
See, man. Go ahead.
But the thing about that is, I don't think him going against Cody really elevates his character. I believe him triumphing over Gunther, the unbeatable, the big bad wolf, and him beating Gunther, because Gunther beat him before, and he didn't win. He actually got embarrassed, kind of.
Yeah, he did.
So if he was to go to Mania and win against Gunther, it would solidify him as a champion.
Also, I would love to see, Jay versus Cody, because they are both the most over guys in the company now, right?
Right.
So, for ticket value, that's a great decision. Because
True.
And especially fan response. I feel as though Jay and Cody's story might not be all there. And Cody Rhodes is huge on stories.
Yeah, gotta finish him.
I'm not gonna say just because Jay can't perform in the ring, at least to the level I would be comfortable with seeing that in WrestleMania main event. Personally, I'm not gonna speak for everybody. I just believe that Jay and Gunther is so much bigger. And why are we still treating the world title like a secondary championship? It's not no value unless you go after Cody. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like that's still a thing going on in the wrestling community, that we don't treat the World Heavyweight Championship like an actual world title that can main event the show.
Seth didn't nearly break his entire body for no reason.
No, he made that title so dope. He defended it all the time, and he really stepped that title up to the next level. He did for that title what Gunther did for the IC Championship.
Right.
Correct. And now I feel as though Gunther's world champion is fantastic, but I feel like people's fear is that if Jay beats Gunther, then that's another loss under his belt. I think he already has 2, Sammy and Cody. And if you add Jay to that list, people think it can hurt Gunther's credibility.
What?
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, that's what people are saying.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
Gunther only... So, if he were to lose to Jay, he would only lost 3 times since he's been with WWE.
That's what?
That's a crazy feat.
Yeah, he's 3 and 300?
Oh, something like that, bro. People fear Gunther losing momentum, which I feel like
not
is
possible.
Necessary, because Gunther as a competitor is so ridiculously dominant that a loss here or there wouldn't affect him.
Heck, Gunther was scary before he had the belt.
Yeah, so I was fine with come on, the greatest ice champion of all time, longest reigning, king of the ring,
Right.
Yep.
world champion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, he lost Sami Zayn last year. So people are saying, he gonna go back and lose again this year to Jey Uso, and Jey Uso not nearly as good as Sami Zayn in the ring. That's where people's issues arise, because they think that story or the match that they are going to deliver won't live up to what Jay is capable of doing, or what Gunther's capable of doing with Jay, rather.
I think that's a bad argument, because John Cena isn't a great wrestler either, but he beat a lot of people that were deemed as great wrestlers.
Exactly. I think
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess the people are easier to... Or the people go easier on Cena because he's a great actor. To be honest, he really knows how to put on a face and sell his emotions in the ring. Right, no pun intended, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But, I feel like when it comes to Gunther, no loss of any regard could subtract from just the amount of dominance and power that he just has in the ring. How he can just get everyone to be immediately against him when he just breathes on the microphone.
yeah, no,
Not as much as Dominic, but you know.
No, Dom. They have been booing Dom recently. As I thought they should. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know if they're planning to do with Dominic.
Well, I mean, he might be heading to SmackDown.
I mean, maybe
eventually.
We don't know.
Yeah,
I think they're actually closing the window for the transfer, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think everyone
They need to
who
get
has.
a Judgment Day.
Yeah,
That's another time.
that's
a video for another
That's
day.
another day though.
Video for another day for sure. Look out for that one. That's coming. I just think that Jey Uso, as a decision, couldn't have been that bad. Now, on the other hand, there's Charlotte Flair,
Ooh.
who another loud vocal group of people think should not have won. Based on her having already so many title reigns, just returning from injury and then winning, and a pretty undesirable number, I guess people feel like she won at 21. I think it was 21 she came out.
Right.
I believe, unless I'm mistaken, I think it was Alexa Bliss. Came out 21, but they feel as though Charlotte shouldn't have won the match. And unlike Jey Uso, I think a lot of people were much more vocal at the shows about Charlotte than Jey. I believe she was trying to cut a face promo.
Nah.
But the reaction just wasn't there. I felt more of a heel vibe.
I felt more of a tweener vibe.
More of a tweener vibe. Like
I didn't really get a solid vibe. It just kind of felt like she was here to be back and win matches. Like, I couldn't really get a good read on her. I think that might be a me thing, though. But, just how she was carrying herself in the event. She didn't really seem heely. Didn't really seem facey.
Nah, well, I like how she carried herself in the event. Just due to this new version of her old character. Because, Charlotte is, she's a character that doesn't really need much shifting or changing.
Right.
Especially to work on a main event scale.
Right.
But how she was more so acting as a mentor to the roster, like, calling Rhea a kid and, saying that, she can take her time. She don't have to rush anything.
Yeah.
She really moved like an actual veteran. And I think her playing into that veteran status, like, I'm the greatest. I know I'm the greatest.
Right.
It's something I really want to see from her. I feel like her character work last time around was very, I guess you could say, very lackluster due to how she moved as a face.
Stale.
It was stale. Like that character just doesn't work.
Yeah.
In that role. So I think I'm interested in seeing what Charlotte does, and then the crowd starts booing her more often. I would really like to see that. I like to see that. Yeah, I like her to get a reaction.
Yeah, a reaction is better than no reaction.
No, she said maybe I feel inspired.
Inspired.
Maybe I'll go to SmackDown.
Maybe I'll go to NXT.
You know what? You know what? Speaking of reactions,
what's up, Pip?
We gotta talk about the crowd there. You would think this show was bad because the crowd gave no reaction except for what they wanted. There was a lot of great moments and spots.
What do you mean?
Especially in both shows. Well, you can definitely see it at the beginning part of the women's Royal Rumble. There were not a lot of cheers, especially considering that we had a lot of great technical prowess and showcasing from a lot of the women. And when it came to you know what? Yeah, the tag team match. You guys didn't notice? There was little to no cheers.
I didn't notice. No, I was supposed to be watching that fucking classics, mostly Machine Gun stock.
I mean, I love them to death. But the crowd, but Indianapolis did not give them the reaction that I think they deserve.
Really?
Yeah. I think you should go back and rewatch it.
I probably should.
Yeah, they were not as ecstatic.
You notice that?
I noticed that it wasn't a lot of big names earlier on in the match. I know the bigger names came later. So.
Yeah,
I guess
maybe they were saving their cheers.
Yeah, I also think that's a new thing the Rumble is doing. I actually appreciate that more without all the cheap legend pops they would have to be forced to do.
They only had Trish Stratus. She was the only one.
Yeah, and even in the men's roster, who they have? They have any surprise legends other than I should don't count.
Yeah, but technically,
John
Cena doesn't count because
we knew he was
there.
Yeah. I know they had.
I guess AJ.
AJ, no,
he's a roster member.
Like we have enough of a solid roster now that we don't have to just rely on old legends to get pops.
Legends to come back.
Yeah,
like 2022 Ivory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was so weird because I hated the sense that these guys are gonna come back for this one show. They're not gonna win.
Yeah,
they're just here to get that initial pop when their theme song hits and nothing else.
Yep. Especially when they come in and then they're gone as soon as they get in.
Yeah. I hated that. I'm glad we're starting to finally move away from that. We actually got real contenders in the Rumble. This is probably one of the greatest Rumbles ever, dog, because the unpredictability was top notch. And yes, unpredictable does not mean good.
No, it doesn't.
Unpredictable.
But I appreciated that I didn't know who was going to win. And at the end, they didn't know who was going to win either. And when the person that they didn't want to win.
That's why they were
They were furious. On one hand, they're glad it's unpredictable, and they're happy that the show gave them a feeling that they didn't know who was going to win, but then the person they didn't know was going to win won.
Everybody's angry.
You can't have your cake and eat it too, I guess.
No.
And throwing a hissy fit on Twitter.
All over the line, bro. They're all on Twitter, YouTube comments, just throwing a hissy fit. And then you...
Dislike button.
The best part about the men's rumble to me, we have an obvious triple threat match scheduled for Mania.
Oh, no. Roman, CM Punk, and Seth,
bro. Yes, sir.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. That's going to cook. It's going to cook, bro. Look.
Yeah.
Yup.
Like, I feel as though Charlotte, as a competitor, pivoting, shifting back to her, will deliver. It's Charlotte.
Right.
She will deliver. Like, she has a much more of an impressive resume than Jay does, at least at this point in her career. So, if you're concerned about the wrestling on Charlotte's part, don't be.
She's going to give you a 5-star match.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you can book it.
You can book it. If you're concerned about the wrestling on Jay's part, I get it.
That's genuine concern.
That's genuinely concerning.
genuine concern.
I'm not going to cast aspersions on anyone who might be concerned about Jey Uso's match quality.
Yeah.
But I feel as though he's improved a lot.
Yes.
And I really want to see what he can do in this role. If they trust him in this role, I really want him to deliver in said role.
My hot take for the men's Royal Rumble, there was no wrong answer on who could have won, especially considering how many people were left. Like, everyone had a reason to win. Everyone had a reason to go to Mania. But, I think the biggest theme about this Mania is that we kind of knew it was stacked. And the one person that everyone kind of forgot about, that being Jay, came in and won.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
He was on the poster.
he was on the poster, but like,
forget about
No, he was
Actually,
okay, let me
gonna win.
All right, let me rephrase it. He was on the poster, yes,
Yeah.
but you have Seth.
No one's looking at him.
You have you have Seth. You have CM Punk. You have Roman. You have Cena.
Even Logan Paul.
Yeah, like you have all
Show
these.
speed.
He got done dirty.
Yeah, he got it.
The rawest spear of all time.
No, that spear was breakneck.
Oh my god!
They always did him even worse.
On top of that, he was already cooked.
Bro was in crutches after the show. It was not pretty.
But no, Pip, I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I think that he was overlooked, and due to that, people were upset. Mm-hmm. But again, you can't have cake eat it too. You can't praise him for being unpredictable and then be mad when it's unpredictable.
Right.
I just feel as though that's false. It's fraudulent. And I think a lot of people online need to really get a grip that this product is as high as it's ever been. And yes, while they can make bad decisions, Jey Uso is not a bad decision.
No, not at all.
Not for the pocketbooks either.
No, he's not.
Especially for the pocketbooks.
This is a business, man. We're trying to make money. The merch selling like hotcakes. The tickets sell like hotcakes.
Top 5.
Yeah, dog. There's no competition here.
Yeet.
That's main event.
If he could have won, he should have won.
Yeet.
And he did.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Yeet.
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 So, guys, this has been
C.
B, dog.
B.
Dub. We gotta write you a script, bro.
Yeah.
This has been B Dub. Thank you guys so much for checking us out today. I hope to know what you think. What do you guys think about who won the Royal Rumble? What are your thoughts about the actual winners?
Woo.
You know it. You know. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.